It feels very narcissistic because I feel like a YouTuber saying an apology, but I just wanted to say where I'm coming from before I start this thing. But I'm stuck in life and just my room and my bed and my head bar. I don't really it's been 2 months, maybe more, of just me literally doing the same exact thing over and over again, and I have been so disengaged with the world that I am just scared of it, and I've been really anxious about everything, and I just I don't know, I've been very emotional in a lot of ways, but I don't know, it's just been really hard because I really want to do this thing. I want to make this thing that I'm about, the Fine Rat show, this Fine Rat. It's a play on fine art, but I really want to do this thing where I get to know people and see the inside of them, and as honestly as they can be, and see everything about them, because I think everybody has a story and is so interesting, especially the uninteresting people. But I haven't been able to go outside, and I've just procrastinated and made every excuse to not do this, even though I want to do this. And it's just, I don't know. The whole thing is I want people to open up to me and tell me everything about themselves, and I just don't think it'd be fair to do that without me doing that right now. So I don't know, I'm very extroverted, I'm a dog but I can't. Recently I've just been stuck, so I'm done being stuck, and I'm gonna go into the world and do this thing, this project that I've been wanting to do for so long, and I'm gonna go. Somebody call up Gen Z. This guy's sad and relatable. Stupid. But yeah, I'm gonna do it. Can't not do it, so I'm gonna do it. What am I supposed to do? I've got this grand vision of a revolutionary talk show where I cut into strangers' core selves, but I can't build up the courage to talk to anybody. I love people, I love the outdoors, and I especially love New York, but I'm scared. I can't be unoriginal. I need to be unique in a way that people understand and appreciate. I want to meet people and see how easy it is to go from strangers to friends. Everyone's so interesting and everyone has a story, but how am I supposed to approach them? Some people have the ability to just do. I wish I was a doer, but my ideal night is sitting in a room with my childhood friends reflecting on middle school, playing NBA 2K13. I just know that if I were to live the easiest life, I would do what everyone else ends up doing, and I wouldn't feel fulfilled in the way I know I could be. It's scary because to take a creative path there's a chance of living a less happy, fulfilling life than if I were to just live simply. I went to the city to do my dream and was paralyzed to do the thing I've wanted to do for months. I could not muster up the courage to talk to any strangers, and I tried talking to some people who legally had to talk to me, but it was not what I was going for.
Hi, what kind of stuff do you guys have? Is it just records and
Records, Playboys, almost everything vintage.
Okay. Do you have any like death grips? You know them?
No.
No death grips? Okay. Is it just what?
I don't know what you gonna do with my picture, bro.
It's not a
I don't
video.
care. I don't care. You gotta pay me.
Okay.
Say yes or no, let them take the fucking picture. Just say yes or no. Seriously.
No, it's okay. I like talking to you guys. I'm just here to talk. All right. It was nice meeting you.
The day was a good toe in the water. The day was a good way to get my feet wet, but I know what I need to do. The day was a good
This guy's own thing, like this.
Oh,
Like, you know that thing we do?
yeah.
Yeah. All right, yeah, you can start it.
Look, I have the question all the time, what the hell is the point of all of this? You know, why am I bothering to get up and go to work every day and exist in general? I ain't got no answers for you.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So what's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. I'm Carlo. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
My name is Naquan Hallback,
Naquan
CEO
Hallback.
of Easy Living Shelter. How are you?
Easy Living what?
Shelter.
Easy Living Shelter. Cool.
Yes.
What is that? Okay. So I'm sorry I'm nervous about doing this. This is the first thing I've done. But okay. Are you? I'm like nervous right now about doing this. I'm like nervous about going outside and like doing stuff. Are you? Does that like scare you? Do you get nervous or anxious to like do things?
I'm just now very comfortable having my mask off outside. I still put a mask on every time I go inside a building, whether or not they have a sign posted that I need one.
Yeah. I've been like really anxious recently and just like nervous to go outside and do things and stuff. Like, do you ever experience that kind of thing? I feel like we come from very different worlds, and so you kind of have to get used to it.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Right now we do come from different worlds. So as far as being scared to go outside, I don't have that feeling because outside is my everyday. Like, you know what I mean?
Our main mission, being that we're a shelter, is to give them physical stability. So this way they'll have mental and physical stability to be successful pillars in the community.
Interesting. Mental stability, you said?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so like, what do you do to get like? Do you think you have any mental instability, or do you think you're like a very stable person to be delivering that to other people?
Myself personally, I believe that we all have our own issues. Mentally, of course, you know. So, am I stable enough to teach or to help others? Yes, I believe so. I believe that we all have a sense of instability when it comes to mental, because nobody's perfect.
Of course, yeah.
If someone says that they don't have a mental issue, then you need to stay away from them. Those are the people with the most
I'm so glad you
issues.
say that.
Right.
I thought you were going to be like, I'm perfect.
Right, like the politicians and all these people that try to portray like they're perfect, stay the fuck away from them.
Absolutely,
you know, excuse my language.
No, please.
You know, get rid of this whole pandemic thing and move forward.
Sure, but like, so what are you like afraid of then? What are your like fears? If you don't mind me asking.
Fears as far as my fears or pandemic fears?
No, I'm not talking about like the pandemic. Just like literally, I want to like know you.
Honestly, my biggest fear is honestly not getting myself off the street because I know I'm gonna. But my biggest fear is not obtaining success.
What's success to you though?
Success, just being able to live a comfortable life, be able to provide for your family, be able to provide for the future generations to come.
Definitely.
Nothing extravagant, just any man would wish for, you know what I mean? Granted, any man wishes they had an abundance of money and stuff like that, but would I deny it if it ever came to me? Hell no.
Of course not.
It's not a necessity, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you afraid or like scared to like go out sometimes? Just like you're inside, you just don't want to like.
I mean, I'm definitely before the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, I can get very lazy and not want to. You know, excited to make plans, but then once the plans roll around, it's like, oh, do I actually have to leave my house?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I kind of convincing yourself of other things you have to do that don't really exist. I'm super anxious. I get like depressed sometimes, but like everybody that I'm glad you acknowledge that, and the fact that you like are trying to help that's really like a noble cause, man.
Absolutely. I think that the more that we spread, you know, hope within our community, the more hope that we'll have.
Dude, I'm so surprised that you like, no offense, but you came up to us like,
when
you want to buy some fireworks, and now you're like this guy who's like, I promote mental stability.
I was hustling. You got me professional.
I mean, this is what I'm doing. I'm hustling.
Yo, but you putting me out there, man.
No. I mean, you just turned out to be this sweet guy. No. He's hard, bro. He's hard.
I'm not.
Buy some fireworks, bro. Buy some fireworks. If you don't mind me asking, like, so, what's your story? What like?
Why did I become homeless? How?
Sure. I don't know how to say that. And like, how'd you get homeless?
Honestly, I knew that question was coming.
I know. I mean, I didn't even. But like, I just want to get to know you.
It's a very common question.
Where are you from
originally? I actually grew up here in New York.
Wait, what borough?
Manhattan.
Okay, cool.
It's actually a very common question, and I had been in college. I was working in a store called FYE.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you go to college, you said?
I started in City College, and I obtained my associates there, and then between NYU and Columbia, I went and got my bachelor's.
Oh, nice.
Literally, as far as... Can you repeat the question again?
Kind of like what got you to where you are now.
So anyway, I was working at FYE. Very good store. It's for your entertainment. They sold CDs, DVDs, movies, and stuff like that.
Okay.
I loved it. Like, you know what I mean?
Physical copies of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked it. I started off as an employee, moved up to GM. It was one of those things where technology got better, so we didn't need CDs and DVDs and all that stuff anymore. You know what I mean? So
like Blockbuster or something like that.
Exactly. So everything went to shit pretty much. My hours got cut by half, and then the store got shut down entirely. And my grandmother was the last person in my family, so I moved in with her. She obviously told me yes. She put me back on the lease. She had something called rent control. Mm-hmm. She was living in her place for more than 50 years, and literally for her 3-bedroom, all she pays is $112. Wow. Even when Columbia University bought the building, they tried to buy her out, but she still said no. Wow. 8 days after that, she passed.
I'm really sorry, man.
It's okay. 9 days after that, I got a letter from Columbia University in the mail saying that because I wasn't part of the original lease, that the rent is not $112 anymore, it's $4,814. So my first thought was just fuck.
Yeah, that's
Not even if I was a drug dealer, I can afford it. So from there, I knew what was gonna happen. I was gonna have to go from there to a shelter.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the process of making friends is really like.
Oh,
How do you do it now?
It gets harder as you get older, man.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm 21. I don't know what, like 25. What do I? It's just like the people I work with.
Right,
because
when you're growing up, it's the people that you're around in school, right?
Like
so it's
this guy,
it's your classmates or your neighbors, you know, that kind of thing. College, make friends in college. Once you graduate and you're working, then you make friends with people you know from the job. But outside of the job, how do you make friends?
And what if the people that you work with are just terrible? That's why I don't want to get at 9. I just want to do my own thing.
Sure.
'Cause I'm scared. And it's so easy to say as like a hopeful 21-year-old, but I really desperately don't want to like do a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like The Office. I'm sure you've seen The Office.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a funny show, but like if you think about it, it's like very depressing and like
Absolutely.
like Jim just like
Being an adult is depressing.
I know it's empty. I'm scared. I like dissociate sometimes. I don't know. From a place of helping mental stability, you have to have gone through something, because it's like if you think about like
That's right.
that's making me think about like rehab centers. A lot of rehab like for drugs and stuff. A lot of rehab centers, the people doing that are people who've already like overcome that. People like past addicts are the ones who are helping the ones trying to get over it.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
to be in a place of knowledge and going through that. Not someone who's like, I've never had any mental instability at all.
But I want to
is gonna-
help people.
Exactly.
What do you know about it?
Exactly. You have to know
Right.
something about it, and
Absolutely.
and you clearly do.
I lasted 9 days in the shelter.
Yeah. Wait. What even? Where is that? What even is that? I'm not really familiar
A
with
shelter is just a place for people that are on the street to go, but
homeless people.
it is not good. I lasted, like I said, 9 days there. When I got there on the 9th day, there was 20 people in my room just trying to take all my stuff. And I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna fight 20 people. There's no sense.
Yeah.
That was the last thing I remembered. I woke up in the hospital. They gave me this scar here. They took 2 of my ribs. They broke them.
They took your rib? Like
No, like they broke my ribs.
I was about to say. Damn, bro.
They tore my ACL completely off the bone. My kneecap was all the way down here. They shattered my ankle so much that the doctor stopped counting at 80 bone fragments.
Oh my god. Can you walk okay now?
Yeah.
When was this?
Almost a year ago.
Damn, okay.
And literally, like every once in a while, like after they repaired my ACL, it's kind of quirky. Like I'll know it's gonna rain before, like 3 days prior to.
I've heard people say that.
And
That's interesting.
the closer it gets to the day, my leg throbs even more.
Wow.
But in spite of all that happening to me, I knew there was something else that they weren't telling me, and I couldn't stand it. So after the 3rd day, I asked the doctor to finally tell me, and I told him if he didn't tell me, I was gonna rip the IVs out and I was leaving. So I knew it was bad when he told me, all right, I'll tell you, but let me give you a sedative first. I was like, oh shit. So he gave me the sedative and he told me that they raped me while I was unconscious.
Yeah.
I'll never go back to a shelter. And fast forward, about a year later, here we are.
So that was during COVID?
A little bit before.
A little bit before? Damn. So that's a pretty incredible story. I mean, it's just like, thank you so much for like opening up and telling me that. But I mean, so because of that, like, what's your opinion on people in general? Because like, you've like clearly been dealt like a really shitty hand. Like you're such a fucking smart guy.
People
like,
can be good and people can be bad, but people aren't born bad. They're made that way.
Of course.
With intent of how people treat homeless people. I see some people that are beautiful souls, and then you see some that, like, you know what I mean? If looks can kill, you'd be dead. And I used to be angry at those kind of people because, like, who are they to sit there and judge me? You don't know me or what I've been through.
Of
But
course.
then I start to wonder, and I feel bad for them, and I wonder, like, damn, how miserable must you be that all you want to do in your life is make somebody else miserable? So, you know what I mean? I feel, you know, a little bit bad for them to a certain degree.
Yeah, I mean, you're smart, man. Some people would, it's crazy that some people would take that same thing and like boil up in rage, and like they would be just so mad at the world, and you're able to like take that and put a positive spin, or not a positive spin, but understand. Like you have to be so fucking smart to understand that people who are judging you clearly have something wrong with them.
A wise man once told me, how did the phrase go? Oh my God, I have it right in the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, there it is. in life, sometimes, whether you want to agree or not, you're going to have to learn to think for other people in certain situations.
Yeah, man. It's empathy. That's. How old are you, by the way?
Huh?
How old are you, by the way?
25.
25? Okay, I'm 21. I'm Carlo, but I don't know if I told you that.
Yes, you did.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
Like, do you think life has like a meaning to it? Like do you like a God or anything? I'm sorry if you don't want to answer that. That's fine. Like,
so I mean, I was brought up Catholic to a point. You
Yeah.
know, I made my communion, but then I never went on and made my confirmation.
Okay.
My family wasn't super religious. Only did the communion because my grandma wanted me to do that, and after that, she was like, "All right, fine, whatever." So I'm not super religious. Is there something out there in the universe? Maybe, I don't know.
so like agnostic?
Agnostic.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Non-practicing Catholic, whatever you
Okay.
want to call it.
You get a tree, but you don't like go to church.
but
on
it's like
Sunday.
it's the non-religious version of Christmas, right?
Okay,
Like,
yeah, no, that's kind of the same as me
Yeah.
to some degree. Yeah, it's just interesting to me. I don't know how. I mean, some people wonder if you have to go, by the way.
No, I just hear a commotion and I'm curious what's happening.
I do too. Maybe it's a
sounds
protest.
It sounds like a protest coming.
I kind of want to see.
I know, me too.
Some people are very curious. They're like, if you don't believe in God or something, like, how do you go about life, like morally or something?
I mean,
like,
look, I have the question all the time. What the hell is the point of all of this? You know, why am I bothering to get up and go to work every day and exist in general? I ain't got no answers for you.
Yeah, it's comforting that you're saying that, because that's what I've been thinking. Because people don't say that openly.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I also it also pains me hearing it. Oh, that is a protest.
It is a protest.
I'm not sure what it's for. I wanna record that.
I heard
though.
equal justice. But
I heard we want justice.
we want justice.
Like
How you guys doing?
you want to buy fireworks? All right, have a good day.
He said that.
I got
not
some.
me.
I got some.
That was his words.
I'm helping you, man. No, I was thinking about this.
We're in Philadelphia, by the way.
You're in Philadelphia?
Don't mind the background.
Yeah.
This is Philly.
Not Philadelphia right now.
Philly, yeah.
Boston. But I was thinking, like, tattoos are cool. Like, I kind of want to get tattoos that look cool. But then, like, people would look at me and, like, before seeing me or before getting to know me, they would assume things about me. Like, maybe this guy's like some cool guy. I don't really want to be cool. I feel like being cool would be something that's like, it makes me less relatable to everyone. I want to be able to talk to everybody and, like, to have like a very bland presentation.
Cool makes you less relatable?
In some ways, yeah. Less presentable. People are a little intimidated in some ways.
It depends on what you do with your cool, Steve. So you have certain people who abuse their cool and they'll take that cool and they'll shun other people away, or they'll
I don't want to do
not
that.
deal with certain people. But see, it's certain people who's real and cool at the same time. So you could be cool, but some people are more real than others. So when you're real and you're cool, then it doesn't matter what other people think. You're still gonna relate to the underdog.
That's true. It's
You know
like
what I'm saying?
Will Smith's pretty cool.
Right. He's very cool.
Brad Pitt's pretty cool. The cool
Very
guys.
cool. Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's a different level to everything.
Not to judge a book by its cover, like what do you identify as? And like, not that means anything, but what would you call yourself?
Technically, because I was born here, I would call myself an American, but whenever people ask me, I always say I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican, so...
Okay. Also, but political spectrum wise.
Oh.
That too, though.
I generally stay away from that stuff.
Why?
Because that's two conversations that you don't have with people unless you A, know what you're talking about, or B, the person that you're having a conversation with doesn't blow a gasket or think that they know everything. Is religion and politics. They're very sensitive topics. It's like I said, unless you're willing to deal with the whiplash that it comes with, you might as well not even talk about it.
That's like most of what I'm talking about. I don't really know what I identify as politically or religiously. I didn't grow up really with
Well, as far as religion goes, I don't know either. I always said, God and I agreed to see other people, but we still talk from time to time.
That's really interesting. I've never heard that. That's cute. I think I used to be like this asshole atheist. I'd be like, oh, fuck you. If you believe in God, you're a fucking idiot. I used to be one of those guys. Like, of course, I was like 16 at the time or something. But now I kind of realize, like, to say that there's no God with such certainty is like as stupid as saying there's God with such certainty.
Truth is, we can't. That's the thing about. That's the powerful thing about faith.
Yeah.
None of us really know for sure that there is a God,
Mm-hmm.
but we believe and we go by faith because we have to believe that there's something there. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's what hope is.
Exactly. Whether, like, you know what I mean? And one day, everybody in this world is gonna find out whether or not it's real or not. You know what I mean? And
Sure. I mean, just like hope in general, and just like continuing to like go on about your life and go and have the next day happen and just live it is hope in some ways, because sometimes you just have a shitty day or just a shitty week or month or something. You could be depressed for a really long time, and you just have to like know that things will get better, and that's hope. I mean, you don't know, but you just have to hope in a lot of ways.
That's a very fickle sword. There have been times where I know I've gotten depressed. Believe me, I know I have. And you know, sometimes it comes and goes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think it's more the repetition of everything that because you sit there and you're like, oh my God, every day I'm doing this, and everything is like, for example, my day is so time coordinated that all right, at this time I know I'm doing this, I know I'm doing this, I know I'm doing this, and I'm doing. And when your day is planned to a T like that, like it can get really very tedious, and it just doesn't feel good whatsoever. So that, you know, I can see how that can spiral somebody into a depression. But
I was also an introvert, so I had the ability to create and to manage and to, you know, run organizations, right, so to speak. But I wanted to do it from the background. I wanted to be not the guy in front, not the one who's taking the limelight or taking credit for you know what I'm saying? So that had to change. So I was in the same boat as you. I felt the same way. But we can't let, you know, those small, you know, feelings of us wanting to be not cool or not in the front, you know, deter us from being
successful
or what God plans for us to be. Period. You know, someone who's innovative or someone who the community looks up to. You know, so you know, it's times where you have to take that and, you know, say, okay, well, I'm gonna fall back, but then times when you have to step out.
Interesting.
So you have to be 360. You have to have that. What is it? Finish that sentence.
Elasticity. SAT words,
right? School comes in handy.
Yes,
This is where we learn school comes in handy. All right?
I don't think that's the right word.
Hey, listen,
it sounds good.
Yeah, a lot of people ain't gonna. It's gonna go over there. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
All right,
but however, you have to be versatile.
Yes, versatile.
You know, that's the word that I was shooting for.
Sure.
You have to
Flexible.
be versatile.
Flexible.
Good one. All right, but that's my business partner right there.
All right, man.
That's my COO.
It was great meeting you.
Yes. You gotta send that to me.
All right. Hey. What's your IG? You have them?
My IG, honestly, you got Facebook?
No. You're old, man.
Yeah. See, so now you know. See, yeah.
try to talk to people as much as I possibly can, because I'm like, fuck. I'm sitting here like, somebody told me one time, homeless people interact with people a lot, and I say that they're full of shit because, it's one thing to go and ask for help, but it's another thing entirely to sit there and go up to a person, have a conversation, and the topic of you being homeless never even got brought up and treated you like a person. You know, that's what that is. But
I mean, it's you came up to us and you like are incredibly like honest. You were like saying how like you were like embarrassed or something. Like a lot of people I've noticed just in life, like in meeting strangers or something, are putting on some sort of show, putting on some sort of facade or whatever. And I mean, maybe you are, maybe you're right now you're still, but like honestly, everyone has some sort of barrier, some sort of like thing that they're putting up to.
That's very, very true, because I also believe that everybody has to have some semblance of privacy. Like, but I'm very, what you see is what you get, but obviously we all have, certain things that we keep below the surface because, hey, it's true, we need to. Like, you need something to have private. You need something that's just for you. You know what I mean? So
that's interesting. I don't know if I have anything that's just for me. I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I'm trying to think. I mean, of course I do, but I can't think of it on the top of my tongue, tip of my tongue, whatever it is.
That just means you're guarding it all the more.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Were you a psychology major?
I took a lot of psychology courses. That's another thing that lets me know how people think of me or how people view me, anything like that, because it's called body language. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know when I go up to somebody whether or not they want to deal with me. I go up to, and I know when I go up to somebody, when people say, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I can't, but I really wish I could. If I could," like, I know when they're telling me the truth and not. You know what I mean? I know when they're genuinely, concerned and stuff like that, and I know when they're just saying it just to save face because they're there with their friends.
Yeah. This guy's he's the most genuine guy.
Not even 5 minutes ago, I went up to two girls, and literally, I told them what I had to tell them, and afterwards they just stood quiet and they kept looking at each other, snickering, and then just not even. So I was like, "Fuck, I'm just standing here." So I asked them, is it possible you could help? And then she was like, "I don't have any money on me," with an attitude. I was like, "That's fine." I wasn't sitting there. First off, I wasn't asking you for money. Secondly, I was just asking you if you can help. And when somebody asks a question, genuinely, you answer. But then I told her, but I get it. It's because I'm homeless, and because you think that you're better than me, and because you see yourself superior to me in society, you feel that I don't even deserve an answer, that I should just stay there and just listen to, just have you there ignoring me.
And it's stupid because you could have a similar attitude, because I'm sure you're interesting, and I'm sure you're more interesting than half the people you're going up to, and that you could have the right to judge people for
True.
in some ways.
One of the things I told her was, I was like, you have to realize whether I'm homeless or not, I'm still a person.
Yeah.
And I told her.
Glad you said that. Yeah.
I was like, not for nothing, but that just shows me your level of maturity, and I really hope that you change that one day.
Yeah.
I was like, you're beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, you're ugly.
I mean, that's
like she stood there and she was just like, and then I just walked away and said, "Thank you for ignoring me."
That's wild that you just said that. I feel like I'm always.
Don't get me wrong. I'm very, 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 very humble. Yeah. But if you sit there and you're gonna sit there and laugh at me or think that you're better than me just because, of you having a home and me not having one at the moment, no. Fuck you.
To me, it's but those people are just ignorant. But when something like that happens to me, and I put myself out there and they just laugh or something, it's I won't even say anything because I know they're ignorant, and it's to say something won't make anything better, except it'll just.
No, I
maybe you talk. Maybe they're thinking about that. I'm sure they will think about that.
I know for a fact they're thinking about it, because like I said, after I told them, they stood there you know what I mean,
yeah. Whoa. You think that's making the world a little bit better? It very well could.
I think it can make it better or worse, but fuck, you have to say something, you know what I mean?
Of course.
It's one of if you don't, I'm not gonna sit there and say that homeless people haven't fucked up a lot. Yes, they have, but people should also use their better judgment and judge us as individuals and not a whole. Peter should not have to pay for Paul. You know what I mean? If somebody made a mistake, XYZ, then you categorize that person. You know what I mean? I get it. You're gonna have homeless people have that stigma, but it's like I said, use your better judgment. See this person as an individual, and based off that, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's what I'm trying to do with this thing I'm making here. I'm just kind of trying to see the story in everybody that I just random people.
Copy.
Okay, so when you were coming up to us, and me doing this right now, do you see me as using you for my thing? In some ways, it's because not because, but just, I don't know. You had time, we gave you money, and then it's is that? Honestly, do you see that as something?
No,
were you thinking
see it
that?
As that? Honestly, I just saw it as the stars lining up. You know what I mean? It's just something that happened. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you went with the flow. You're very open. You're a very spontaneous person to do that. A lot of people are. It takes a little easing into to get into it.
Yeah, but it's like I said. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I'm how much more nervous can I get? I go up to people and I tell them that I'm homeless and that I have no, and that I'm hungry.
You get nervous though for that thing? That kind of thing? I
used to, and don't get me wrong, I still do, but I try to, stay as focused as I possibly can. Sometimes I get cut off, sometimes I don't, but it's just. You just hope that they don't, sit there and make fun of you or anything like that. That's just
no, that's disrespectful.
I don't know what time, how much time we have, but I literally have an appointment in Harlem, and I don't want to.
Okay, it's 4:38.
I heard equal justice. But
I heard we want justice.
We want justice. It's not very big.
No.
They're very loud for not very big. Good for them.
I feel like they'll get justice because of their loudness, but yeah. All right, well, it was great talking to you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah.
Good luck with your project.
Thank you. I'm hoping it does well. Yeah.
You guys should honestly realize that you guys are better individuals than what you give yourself credit for.
So now we think we're pretty cool, man. I don't know.
Alright, so go
We
fuck
got some
yourself.
good egos.
You guys suck. How about that?
Alright, bro.
Literally,
Getting to know you.
as soon as I come back, I'm gonna try to come here. Like, not try, I'm gonna come here just to see if I see you guys.
You might not. I can't give you any promises.
Oh, no,
I
just to
wish
see.
you had a phone, bro. We'll also be around here lighting the mask. Hey, no, I'm gonna come around here.
But they have public kiosks, so if you want me to call you as soon as I come back, that I can do.
You wanna write down my number?
Yeah, man. There was a man that told me death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back. Just think about that, you know what I mean? It'll definitely keep the optimism. You guys have a good one. I'll check you guys in a little bit.